I had heard that part of the way that MySpace built out its international community strategy was by launching parties in cities and inviting a whole bunch of young people to come to a party, and that actually offline aggregation of crowds had a lot of the driving force behind MySpace's expansion. Is any of that true?
Yeah, there's some truth to it. If you think about MySpace's growth early on, a lot of it was kind of culturally driven, right? Yeah. Like we had a huge music presence, for example. Actually, that was one of the things I did. I ran MySpace Music for a time. And we would grow, like, musicians and artists are kind of like, if you think about like a hub and spoke, they're this hub that can pull in millions, thousands or hundreds, depending on the scale of the artist, of people into the larger social network. And it kind of grew up with this sort of grassroots expansion. And when we went overseas, we tried to apply a similar strategy. So we would go into markets and we would hire kind of cultural ambassadors. We would try to connect with local musicians and artists, and then throw events, throw parties that would try to kind of pull people into that cultural phenomenon. And it didn't work as well internationally, scale-wise.
I spent a bunch of private time with Sean Rad, the founder of Tinder. You may know I funded his previous company, and I was trying to get his lessons learned from Tinder. And it mirrors a lot of the stories that I heard from Travis Katz and from Jamie Kantrowitz and other people about MySpace and these social events. So Tinder told me that the way they expanded to new markets was almost by velvet rope, which was go to, let's say, Caracas, or you go to Buenos Aires, and you would find the top 50 influencers in town, and then you'd have a private party where they could each invite only 5 people. And in order to come to the party, you actually had to have Tinder downloaded on your phone. So in that way, they got like 250 to 500 of the most influential people in any city with Tinder on their phone, using it, talking about it. And from there, it would spiral out. You couldn't just proactively sign yourself up for Tinder. You had to have one of those people invite you.
So there's a lot of different strategies to extend. I mean, Facebook had a very effective one, which wasn't around parties or events.
But it was exclusive.
There was the network effect.
Because you had to be at a university. It had to initially be a named university. And I think they did that until they hit a certain scale.
It ensured a high quality network, very early on. And then when they opened up, now you have potential quality issues, actually.